5 minutes into the game, a shot gets kicked over the goal and goes long, and the keeper spends 2 or 3 minutes going to retrieve that ball, and there's no extra balls to be seen around the field. That's your fault. 15 minutes into the game, the teams are complaining that the ball is not properly inflated. That's your fault. 20 minutes into the game, a team takes a throw-in from the wrong spot because they don't know which one is the proper touch line. That's your fault. Your team can't decide if it was a goal or not because the ball went straight through the goal and didn't stop in the net because there was a hole in the net and you guys didn't check. That's your fault. A year ago, I read a book by a brain surgeon, and he opens up the book talking about 2 types of failures, 2 types of mistakes. He says there are failures of ignorance and there's failures of ineptitude. Failures of ignorance occur when we as a civilization do not yet have the knowledge base to do something. We are not smart enough. We haven't figured it out. We don't have the technology to do this. We cannot regrow a limb. We cannot start a civilization on Mercury. We are not advanced yet to do this. We don't know how to do it. So failures in this area are much more acceptable because this is the frontier. Now contrast that with a failure of ineptitude. This is a failure because of a lack of skill or ability when somebody fails to apply knowledge that we already have correctly. These failures are much less excusable. Then he transitions, after talking about these 2 types of failure, to medical operations. And he says when you're into brain surgery, there's 600 plus steps. There's a lot of people that are involved, and there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts. Everything from the diagnosis and the evaluation, the anesthesia, the incision, getting brain access, doing the treatment, monitoring the patient, closing up the patient, the post-operative care, the rehabilitation, a lot of stuff. But everything that we're doing is not frontier. It's all things we've already done, yet we're still failing. These are failures of ineptitude. Why is this happening? And he points to people being people. We forget. We lack attention to detail. We skip steps. We're just fickle people, and we're not perfect. So how do we safeguard against failures, particularly in an area as important as a life or death issue like surgery, let alone on the soccer pitch? And his answer to all this is checklists. And he says checklists are not for people who are stupid. They're not for beginners. They are for the best of the best. They are for the people who are leading their industries to get predictable, high-level results time and time again. So let's take this idea of checklists and apply it to soccer refereeing, particularly the time that we have before the kickoff. Let me suggest 5 things that should be on your checklist that would help give you the best odds of success in that game, that would give you a good or a strong push-off, that would set the tone for that match. We're going for consistent, high-level results, and checklists are how we're going to get there. Now, I don't care if you write this down. I don't care if you get a tattoo on your arm. I don't care if you keep it all upstairs, whatever. Personally, I'm going to write it down and start using this on a consistent basis for all of my matches. Number 1, have a meeting with your crew. Establish rapport. Establish a team mentality. How are you? Where are you from? What kind of games do you do? What are you learning this season? What's been a hard game you've had this season? What's your name? Do you guys know each other? How long have you been refereeing? Do something that can get a laugh or a rise or a smile out of them. You are the leader of that crew. Bring them together quickly. If you spend 10 minutes talking to one, spend 10 minutes talking to the other one. Don't ignore people. Include everybody. You need them big time in all your games. Number 2, present yourself and the ARs. Present the entire crew to both coaches. You initiate that conversation. Find the coach. Hey, coach, I'm Steven. This is Bob. This is Bobette. We are the crew for today's match. We're looking forward to a great game. Is there anything we need to know about your team? How was the drive up? Make some small talk. Whatever. Spend 5 minutes with one, spend 5 minutes with the other one, all right? Set the tone with both coaches. Initiate those conversations. Checklist item number 3. Have a pregame with the captains. That captain's meeting. That's not just with the referee and the 2 captains. It's with the entire crew. You guys stand as a united front. You set the tone, address sportsmanship, respect. Oh, we're playing on a multi-sport pitch today. We're using the gray boundary lines. Okay, so everybody knows. Next, while one of your crew members is, taking care of some of the equipment stuff, someone needs to talk to the scorer and the timer. If this is an educational game like a high school game or a college game, does the timer know the signal for stopping the clock, for starting the clock? Are they going to give a countdown? Is there going to be a buzzer? Is there a trainer? And then lastly, equipment stuff. Are there corner flags? Are they in the right spot? Did someone check the nets? Are there any holes in them? Have those been repaired with zip ties? Are the goals anchored? Do we have more than one game ball? Where are they going to be distributed? Are they properly inflated? Easy stuff. Now let me let you in on a little secret. If you're only doing youth games, U16 and below. The higher levels that you go to, like if you're doing a college game or something, the more you see processes in place. If you're doing a college game or something, you're going to be there 1.5 to 2 hours before the game even starts. And guess what they do nearly every time? People show up kind of dressed up, introduce themselves to both coaches. Together, the whole crew does a walk around the field looking at corner flags and nets and any obstructions or weird stuff on the playing surface of the field. Decide on jerseys. Talk to the team captains. Get all the equipment ready. Warm up together. It's a step-by-step process. It's a checklist, guys. So I'm not saying you need to do any of these checklist items or you can do all of them. I don't care. But I'm saying this is a great way to give ourselves a good push-off so that we can have a great game. Now, if you have things that you would do in your pregame checklist that I'm not including here, please let us know. Okay, that's all I want to say. I know I'm hyped up about this, but I think this is a gold mine of information. I think this is a great idea and that we should all be implementing this in our games. I'm personally going to make one on a card and laminate it and be using it every time I referee. Folks, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.